Unforgiving Chicago Week of 2022 event by Colton Dennis. Hello everyone, and welcome to Unforgiving Chicago Week. And tonight we have some great matches in store for you, said announcer number 2. That's right. We have the Ladies Championship on the line, the US Continental on the line, and, in the main event, we will crown our very first ever Galaxy Champion, said announcer number 1. I can't believe we're making history again, said announcer number 2. Well, let's watch history be made, said announcer number 1. Beldings. This match is scheduled for one fall. Is an Extreme Rules match for the Ladies Championship. Introducing the challengers first, Willow. And her opponent, she is the Ladies Champion, the Oracle, said announcer number 3. Beldings. Both the Oracle and Willow are staring at each other. Willow extends her right hand. The Oracle shakes Willow's hand. A show of respect for each other, said announcer number 1. How many people do you think do that anymore? Asked announcer number 2. Not many, said announcer number 1. Both the Oracle and Willow lock up. The Oracle puts a headlock onto Willow. Willow bounces the Oracle off of the ropes. The Oracle shoulder blocks Willow. Willow falls onto the mat. The Oracle bounces off the ropes, then jumps over Willow. Willow stands up, then tires, hip tossing the Oracle. The Oracle looks at Willow, jumps over, then hip tosses her. Willow groans, then looks at the Oracle. The Oracle waves at Willow. Willow stands up. Both the Oracle and Willow lock up again. Willow puts a headlock onto the Oracle. The Oracle lifts Willow, then does a side suplex. Willow groaning, then rolls outside of the ring. The Oracle rolls outside of the ring, runs around it, then clotheslines Willow. Willow falls onto the floor, then groans. The Oracle picks up the ring skirt, then pulls out a kendo stick. Willow looks at the Oracle, then puts up her hands. The Oracle throws the kendo stick to Willow. Come on, use that against me, said the Oracle. Willow grabs the kendo stick, stands up, then swings it. The Oracle ducks, then kicks Willow's stomach. Willow groans, then drops the kendo stick. The Oracle picks up the kendo stick, then raises it. Willow looks up at the Oracle. The Oracle throws the kendo stick behind her, then waves at Willow. Willow punches the Oracle. The Oracle knees Willow's stomach, then bounces her head off the barricade. Willow groans. The Oracle grabs Willow, then throws her into the ring. Willow rolls, then stops. The Oracle slides into the ring. I'm not sure if it is respect that she's not using any weapons, asked announcer number 2. It depends on the person. And I think it's respect, said announcer number 1. The Oracle stands up, then approaches Willow. Willow pulls herself up in the corner, then punches the Oracle. The Oracle groans. Willow punches the Oracle again, to bounce her off the ropes. The Oracle reverses it, then goes to clothesline Willow. Willow ducks, runs, bounces off the ropes, then does a flying clothesline onto the Oracle. The Oracle groans. Willow got the Oracle off her feet, and no one thought she would, said announcer number 2. Willow waves at the Oracle. The Oracle kneels onto the mat. Willow spins around, jumps, then goes for a side kick. The Oracle ducks. Willow lands face first onto the mat, then groans. The Oracle stands up, jumps up, then does famouser onto Willow. Willow laying motionless on the mat. I'm sorry, said the Oracle, covering Willow. 1, 2. Woman number 1 lands onto the Oracle. 2, said referee number 1. The Oracle groans. What the? It's that lady again, said announcer number 2. The oracle looks at woman number 1. Woman number 1 continuously swings a kendo stick. The oracle continuously groaning then rolls outside of the ring. Woman number 1 rolls outside of the ring then continuously swings the kendo stick. The kendo stick continuously hitting the oracle. The oracle continuously groaning. Woman number 1 knees the oracle's stomach. The oracle groans. Woman number 1 throws the oracle into the barricade. The oracle continues groaning. Woman number 1 picks up the oracle. You don't deserve to be champion, said woman number 1, throwing the oracle into the ring post. The oracle lands onto the floor. What an unpleasant woman. Why do this? Asked announcer number 2. I don't know why, said announcer number 1. Woman number 1 picks up the oracle then throws her into the ring. The oracle stops rolling. Woman number 1 lifts the ring skirt, pulls out a steel chair then slides it into the ring. The oracle is slowly moving. Woman number 1 slides into the ring then grabs the steel chair. The oracle stands up, runs at woman number 1 then continuously rams her into the corner. Woman number 1 continuously groaning. Get her, oracle, said announcer number 2. The oracle walks away then runs at woman number 1 again. Woman number 1 moves. The oracle goes into the ring post then groans. Woman number 1 lays the steel chair onto the mat, pulls the oracle out of the corner, jumps onto the second ropes, grabs her, leaps off then does a tornado DDT onto it. That looked very familiar, didn't it? Asked announcer number 1. Woman number 1 smacks Willow, picks her up then places her into the corner. Do your move. Do and quat. Under the willow tree. And quat, said woman number 1, walking towards the oracle then picks her up onto her knees. No, Willow, not like this. Don't, Willow, said announcer number 2. Willow shakes her head, spins around, jumps up then kicks the right side of the oracle's head. Woman number 1 turns the oracle onto her back. Come on, said woman number 1. Willow covers the oracle. 1, 2, 3. Ring the bell, said referee. Number 1. Bell dings. Here's your winner and the new ladies champion, Willow, said announce number 3. Woman number 1 grabs the title then hands it to Willow. Both Willow and woman number 1 roll outside of the ring. Willow raises the title then looks at woman number 1. Woman number 1 takes off the mask and a wig. Melody appears then smiles. Oh my god, it's the former champion, Melody, said announce number 2. I knew that move look familiar, said announcer number 1. This is unfair and an outrage, said announcer number 2. We can't do anything. We're just announcers, said announcer number 1. The oracle is slowly moving, looks up then sees Melody and Willow. Melody waving at the oracle. This is unbelievable, said announcer number 2. Well, folks, up next, we have our very first steel cage match. But the only way to win is to escape it. And it's for the US Continental Championship. I don't see how Chaos is gonna win this match. Especially against the bodyguard, said announce number 1. Chaos might also say goodbye to his title too, said announcer number 2. Bell dings. This match is scheduled for one fall. Is a steel cage match. The only way to win is to be the first person to climb out or walk out the door will be the winner. And is for the US Continental Championship. Introducing the challengers first, the bodyguard. And his opponent. He is the US Continental Champion, Chaos, said announce number 3. Bell dings. The bodyguard is staring at Chaos. Chaos starts climbing up the rope's cage. The bodyguard runs, grabs Chaos's tights, then pulls him down. Chaos lands into his feet on the mat, then runs towards the opposite side of the cage. The bodyguard grabs Chaos, then throws him backwards. Chaos rolls on the mat, gets onto his feet, then tries climbing up the ropes again. The bodyguard grabs Chaos's left leg. "Let go of my leg." "Let go," said Chaos. "Okay," said the bodyguard, pulling onto Chaos's left leg. Chaos lands face first onto the mat, then groans. The bodyguard is laughing, then grabs Chaos. Chaos rakes the bodyguard's eyes. The bodyguard groans. Chaos runs towards the cage door. The cage door opens. Chaos goes through the middle ropes. The bodyguard grabs Chaos, then pulls him back into the ring. Chaos looks at the bodyguard. "Please, please, you don't have to do this. Please, just let me walk out of here with me life," said Chaos. "You want to walk out? You need to get through me," said the bodyguard. Chaos starts punching the bodyguard. The bodyguard shoves Chaos. Chaos rolls backwards onto the mat, stands up, runs, then jumps onto the bodyguard. The bodyguard screaming. "What the hell is Chaos doing?" asked announcer number 2. "I don't know," said announcer number 1. "Chaos is biting their bodyguard's ear." The bodyguard continues screaming, runs, then rams Chaos into the corner. Chaos groans, then lets go of the bodyguard. The bodyguard walks away, looks at Chaos, then runs at him. Chaos dropkicks the bodyguard's left leg. The bodyguard's head goes into the top turnbuckle. Chaos stands up, walks towards the ropes, then starts climbing up them. "Now is Chaos's chance," said announcer number 2. The bodyguard looks at Chaos, walks towards him, then grabs his left leg. Chaos tries kicking the bodyguard. The bodyguard continues pulling onto Chaos's left leg. Chaos jumps onto the bodyguard, then tries to do a Hurricane Rana. The bodyguard lifts Chaos up, runs, then rams his back into the cage wall. Chaos groans. The bodyguard continues holding Chaos, runs, then rams his back into the cage wall again. Chaos groaning. The bodyguard continues holding Chaos, runs, then rams his back into the cage wall a third time. Chaos goes limp. The bodyguard throws Chaos over his head. Chaos lands onto the mat. "I think Chaos is out," said announcer number 1. "Either that, or he's dead," said announcer number 2. The bodyguard looks at Chaos, then smiles. "Open the door." The bodyguard is walking towards the cage door. The cage door opens. The bodyguard continues walking, stops, then looks down. Chaos is holding onto the bodyguard's left leg. The bodyguard is smiling. "You want more, huh? You want more punishment? All right, I could do that," said the bodyguard, grabbing the cage door, then shuts it. "You should have just let him go, Chaos. Lose your title, not your life," said announcer number 2. "Good idea, especially in this predicament," said announcer number 1. The bodyguard picks Chaos up. Chaos wraps his arms around the bodyguard's head, then does a jawbreaker onto him. The bodyguard groans, then leans against the ropes. Chaos stands up, bounces off the ropes on the opposite side of the ring, then does a body splash onto him. The bodyguard's head goes into the cage wall, then groans. Chaos runs, bounces off the ropes on the opposite side of the ring, then does a body splash onto him. Again, the bodyguard's head goes into the cage wall again. "Chaos has the momentum now," said announcer number 2. Chaos runs, bounces off the ropes on the opposite side of the ring a third time. The bodyguard lifts Chaos up, then lets him go. Chaos lands face first onto the mat. The bodyguard, holding his head, then looks at Chaos. Blood appears from the bodyguard's face. The bodyguard has been busted open, said announcer number 1. Chaos is in so much trouble now, said announcer number 2. The bodyguard picks Chaos up, then leans him against the ropes. Look what you did to me. Look what you did. Now, your blood is gonna be in my hands. The bodyguard runs, then throws Chaos into the cage wall. Chaos falls onto the mat, then groans. The bodyguard picks Chaos up. I'm not done with you, said the bodyguard running, then throws Chaos into the cage wall again. Chaos falls onto the mat, then groans. The bodyguard picks up Chaos, then lifts him onto his left shoulder, then runs towards the cage. Chaos's head goes into the cage wall. The bodyguard continues holding Chaos, then runs towards the opposite side of the cage. Chaos's head goes into the cage wall again. The bodyguard drops Chaos. Chaos appears busted open. Oh God, Chaos is busted open, said announcer number 2. He can't last much longer, said announcer number 1. The bodyguard looks at Chaos. I'm done with you now. I'm gonna take your title. But don't worry, I'll take really good care of it, said the bodyguard, tapping Chaos's face, laughs, then starts climbing up the ropes. Who knew the bodyguard would climb over? Said announcer number 1. Yeah, he could have just walked out, said announcer number 2. Chaos is slowly moving. Quickly stands up, then leans the against rope. The bodyguard gets hung up onto the top rope, then groans. Oh, that definitely hurts, said announcer number 1. I could feel the pain right now, said announcer number 2. Chaos falls into the corner, then pulls out a pair of handcuffs. Are those handcuffs? Asked announcer number 1. They sure are, said announcer number 2. Chaos pulls himself up with the ropes. The bodyguard lifts his right leg over the top rope, then appears between the cage and them. Chaos grabs the bodyguard's left arm, handcuffs his left wrist, then handcuffs the other side to the top rope. The bodyguard shoves Chaos, then looks at the handcuffs. The handcuffs are shaking. The bodyguard tries taking the handcuffs off himself, then tries removing the top rope. Chaos is crawling towards the cage door. Look at Chaos. He's crawling towards the door, said announcer number 1. And the bodyguard's still cuffed to the top rope. This was a brilliant plan by Chaos, said announcer number 2. The cage door opens. Chaos continues crawling. The bodyguard goes over the top rope, then tries reaching for Chaos. He's too far away, bodyguard, said announcer number 1. Chaos crawls underneath the bottom rope, goes through the cage door, then lands onto the floor. Beldings. Here's your winner. And still the US Continental Champion, Chaos. The handcuffs continues shaking. The title gets handed to Chaos. Chaos slowly pulls himself up with the barricade, then sees the bodyguard. The bodyguard looks at Chaos. Chaos smiling, then walks away. No, get back here, said the bodyguard. The cage starts rising. Referee number 2 slides into the ring with a pair of bolt cutters, then cuts the handcuffs. The bodyguard goes through the middle rope, then walks up the ramp. Well, what a match that was, said announcer number 1. It was unforgettable. Especially how Chaos handcuffed the bodyguard to the top rope to win, said announcer number 2. Totally unexpected. Well, folks, we now move on to our main event. Tonight, we find out who will be our very first Galaxy champion, said announcer number 1. Beldings. This match is scheduled for one fall. Is a 20-man battle royal, where the winner will become the first ever Galaxy champion. Introducing the challengers: the Scout, the Goon, Domino, the Crippler, Thunderbolt, Earthquake, Hercules, Boycott, Tank, Hellfire, the Hyena, Sergeant, Heckler, Havoc, the Void, Morphose, Wrath Hog, Quake, Grimace and the Governor, said announcer number 3. Beldings. All 20 are attacking each other. Hellfire throws Boycott over the top rope. Boycott lands onto the ledge of the ring. Hercules hits Hellfire's back. Both Domino and the Crippler are punching Sergeant, then bounces him off of the ropes. Sergeant holds onto the ropes. On the opposite side of the ring, Domino runs at Sergeant. Sergeant back elbows Domino. The Crippler kicks Sergeant's stomach, then tries lifting him over the top rope. The Governor kicks the Crippler, then hits his back. The Crippler groans. Both Sergeant and the Governor bounce the Crippler off of the ropes, then bend over. The Crippler kicks Sergeant's chest. Sergeant groans. The Governor punches the Crippler. The Crippler kicks the Governor's stomach, lifts him onto his shoulders, then walks towards the ropes. The Governor holding onto the top rope. Sergeant approaches, pulls the Governor off the Crippler's shoulders, then lifts him over the top rope. The Crippler lands onto the floor. Damn it, said the Crippler. The Scout punches the Goon, then chops his chest. The Goon groans, then knees the Scout's stomach. The Scout groans. The Goon punches the Scout. The Scout goes into the ropes. The Goon continuously knees the Scout's stomach. The Scout continuously groaning. The Goon looks at the ropes, grabs the Scout's head, then runs towards them. The Scout reverses it, then throws the Goon over the top rope. The Goon lands onto the floor, then looks up at the Scout. The Scout smiles. Earthquake does a corner body splash onto Tank. Tank groans. Thunderbolt lifts Tank, then throws him over the top rope. Tank holding onto the ropes. Havoc punches Earthquake. Earthquake knees Havoc's stomach, then hits his back. Havoc groans. Earthquake whips Havoc into the corner, runs at him, then does a corner body splash onto him. Havoc groans, then falls to his knees. Thunderbolt picks Havoc up, then lifts him onto his left shoulder, then runs towards the ropes. Havoc holds onto the top rope. Thunderbolt goes over the top rope, then holds onto the ropes. Havoc kicking Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt groaning, then kicks Havoc. Havoc pulls himself up onto the ledge of the ring, then kicks Thunderbolt's face. Thunderbolt lets go of the ropes, then falls onto the floor. Thunderbolt's eliminated, said announcer number 1. The Void trying to lift Heckler over the top rope, then continuously punches him. Heckler continuously groaning. Wrath Hog slowly approaches, grabs the Void's legs, then lifts him over the top rope. The Void lands onto the floor, then looks up at Wrath Hog. Wrath Hog is laughing. You're eliminated, said Wrath Hog, continuing to laugh. What a sick man, said announcer number 2. Quake appears behind Wrath Hog. Wrath Hog continues laughing. The Void smiling, then points. Wrath Hog stops smiling, then turns around. Quake grabs Wrath Hog by his throat, then throws him over the top rope. Wrath Hog lands onto the floor. The Void starts laughing at Wrath Hog, then walks away. Wrath Hog stands up, grabs the Void from behind, then throws him into the ring post. Huh. Who's laughing now? It's me. Me, said Wrath Hog, walking away. The Void groans. He could laugh when he eliminates others, but not when he gets eliminated, said announcer number 2. That's how the world works, said announcer number 1. Both Sergeant and the Governor are punching Havoc. Havoc is groaning. Both Sergeant and the Governor bounce Havoc off the ropes, then do a back body drop. Havoc is groaning, grabs the ropes, then pulls himself up with Them. The governor runs at Havoc. Havoc back elbows the governor. Sergeant runs at Havoc. Havoc. Boots Sergeant. Both Sergeant and the governor walking away. Havoc runs at both Sergeant and the governor, then goes for a double clothesline. Both Sergeant and the governor duck. The governor runs, bounces off the ropes on the opposite side of the ring, then spears Havoc. Havoc groans. Sergeant picks Havoc up, then throws him over the top rope. Havoc lands onto the floor. There goes Havoc, said announcer number 2. Another one down, said announcer number 1. Hercules punches Hellfire, bounces him off ropes, then clotheslines him. The governor goes to punch Hercules. Hercules blocks, punches. The governor lifts Sergeant, slams him onto the mat, then clotheslines the hyena. Grimace jumps onto Hercules' back. Hercules falls onto mat. Grimace groans, then lets go of headlock. Hercules, coughing, then stands up. Grimace groans. Hercules picks Grimace up, then lifts him over his head. Heckler kicks Hercules in his testicles. Hercules drops Grimace, then groans. Heckler grabs Hercules' head, then does a snapmare driver onto him. Hercules groans. Heckler picks up Hercules, leans him against the ropes, then lifts him over the top rope. Hercules lands onto the floor. There goes Hercules. So impressive, like always, said announcer number 2. The scout punching Quake. Quake groaning. The scout bounces off the ropes, then tries clotheslining Quake. Quake staggers. The scout bounces off ropes, then tries clotheslining Quake again. Quake continues staggering. The scout bounces off ropes a third time. Quake grabs the scout by his throat, runs, then throws him over the top rope. The scout lands onto the floor. Quake turns around. The governor spears Quake. Oh my God. The governor just speared Quake, said announcer number 1. I can't believe what I just seen, said announcer number 2. Both Sergeant and the governor are picking up Quake, lean him against the ropes, then try lifting him over the top rope. Quake is squirming, then pushes both Sergeant and the governor with his legs. I don't know how he's still up, asked announcer number 1. Me either, said announcer number 2. Both Sergeant and the governor run at Quake. Quake double clotheslines both Sergeant and the governor. Both Sergeant and the governor are groaning. Quake grabs Sergeant by his throat, lifts him up, chokeslams him, grabs the governor by his throat, lifts him, then chokeslams him. The governor groans. Quake picks up the governor, then throws him over the top rope. The governor lands onto the floor. Hellfire lifts Boycott up, then slams him onto the mat. Boycott groans. Hellfire stands up, grabs Boycott by his throat, then lifts him up. Boycott elbows Hellfire's head. Hellfire lets go of Boycott. Boycott lands onto the ledge of the ring. Hellfire approaches Boycott. Boycott jumps up, puts a headlock onto Hellfire, then tries pulling him over the top rope. Hellfire is squirming, lands inside the ring, moves Boycott's arms, then grabs his throat. Boycott hangs Hellfire onto the top rope. Hellfire gasps, then boots Boycott. Boycott falls onto the floor. Hellfire laughing. Heckler punching Quake. Quake shoves Heckler. Heckler falls onto the mat. Stands up, the punches Quake again. Quake shoves Heckler again. Looks like Quake's in a little pain. Probably from the spear, said announcer number 1. I think you're right, said announcer number 2. Heckler kicks Quake in his stomach, then sets up for a snapmare driver. Quake pushes Heckler hard. Heckler goes over the top rope, then lands onto the ledge of the ring. Quake grabs Heckler by his throat. Heckler Struggling, then hangs Quake off the top rope. Quake gasps, then walks away. Heckler pulls himself up onto the ledge of the ring. Quake runs at Heckler. Heckler pulls down the top rope. Quake goes over the top rope, then lands onto the floor. Quake's eliminated, said announcer number 2. Heckler gets into the ring, laughs, then turns around. Domino runs at Heckler. Heckler lifts Domino over the top rope. Domino lands onto the floor. Man, Heckler got lucky there, said announcer number 1. Yeah, because it could have backfired, said announcer number 2. The hyena is punching Sergeant. Sergeant leaning against the ropes. The hyena grabs Sergeant, kicks his stomach, sets up for a suplex, then lifts him. Sergeant lands onto his feet behind the hyena, grabs him from behind, then throws him over the top rope. The hyena lands onto the ledge of the ring. Sergeant approaches the hyena. The hyena shoulder blocks Sergeant's stomach. Sergeant groans. The hyena sets Sergeant up for a suplex, then lifts him. Sergeant, squirming, lands inside the ring, then hangs the hyena onto the top rope. The hyena falls off the ledge of the ring, then lands onto the floor. Hellfire runs at Grimace. Grimace boots Hellfire, jumps onto second rope, then jumps at Hellfire. Hellfire catches Grimace by his throat. You thought you could do that, huh? Asked Hellfire, lifting Grimace. Grimace lands onto his feet behind Hellfire. Hellfire looks at Grimace, then runs at him. Grimace pulls down the top rope. Hellfire goes over the top rope, then lands onto the floor. Hellfire's eliminated, said announcer number 1. All 5 are attacking Earthquake. Earthquake shoves all 5 of them away. Tank runs at Earthquake. Earthquake clotheslines Tank. Grimace runs at Earthquake. Earthquake lifts Grimace up. Grimace lands face first onto the mat. Heckler, Morphos and Sergeant are attacking Earthquake. Then slowly lift him up. Earthquake headbutts Morphos, then shoves Sergeant. Heckler trying to lift Earthquake over the top rope. Earthquake shoves Heckler. Morphoses looks at Earthquake, runs at full speed at him, jumps, then does a clothesline. Both Earthquake and Morphos go over the top rope, then lands onto the floor. We're down to 4, said announcer number 2. Grimace, Heckler and Sergeant are attacking Tank. Going after the biggest one. Smart, said announcer number 1. Both Heckler and Sergeant bounce Tank off the ropes. Tank double clotheslines both Heckler and Sergeant. Grimace punches Tank. Tank knees Grimace's stomach. Grimace groans. Tank runs, bounces off the ropes, then does a swinging neck breaker onto Grimace. Yeah, this is my show. This is my title. This is my galaxy, said Tank, pointing at the galaxy title. Sergeant hits Tank's back, then bounces him off the ropes. Tank reverses it, then does a scoop power slam onto Sergeant. Sergeant groans. Heckler kicks Tank's stomach, then sets up for a snapmare driver. Tank pushes Heckler. Heckler bounces off the ropes. Tank does a back body drop onto Heckler. Heckler groans. Tank sees Grimace pulling himself up with the ropes, then runs at him. Grimace pulls down the top rope. Tank goes over the top rope, then lands onto the floor. Well, I guess it ain't his galaxy yet. Get it? Asked announcer number 2. Yes, I did, said announcer number 1. Grimace approaches Sergeant. Sergeant lifts Grimace over the top rope. Grimace lands onto the ledge of the ring. Sergeant punching Grimace. Grimace is swaying on the ledge of the ring. Heckler crawling, then low blows Sergeant. Sergeant groans. Heckler stands up, grabs Sergeant, then does a snapmare driver onto him. Hey, over here. Throw him over here. said Grimace. Heckler picks Sergeant up, runs towards the ropes, then throws him over the top rope. On opposite side of the ring, Sergeant lands onto the floor. We're down to 2, said announcer number 2. One of these 2 will be our very first Galaxy champion, said announcer number 1. Grimace goes through the middle rope. It's just me and you, said Grimace. Heckler nods his head. Hey, why don't you go over the top rope? Then I'll give you a shot at my title. You'll be the first one. I promise you, said Grimace. Oh, so I just jump over the top rope, then I get a title shot, said Heckler. That's right, you'll be the first one, said Grimace. All right, you got yourself a deal, said Heckler. Climbing over the top rope, then lands onto the ledge of the ring. Oh my God, is this how we're gonna have our new champion? Asked announcer number 2. I really hope not, said announcer number 1. Heckler gives a thumbs up to Grimace. Grimace, smiling, turns around, closes his eyes, then holds out his arms. Heckler looks at Grimace, then goes through the middle rope. The crowd is cheering. That's right, cheer for your new champion. Cheer for me. Come on, baby, said Grimace, turning around, then sees Heckler. I changed my mind, said Heckler, kicking Grimace in his testicles. Grimace groans. Heckler grabs Grimace's head, then does a snapmare driver onto him. Grimace groaning. Heckler stands up, then holds out his arms. The crowd continues cheering. Heckler picks Grimace up, then throws him over the top rope. Grimace lands onto the floor. Bell dings. Here's your winner and the new Galaxy champion, Heckler, said announcer number 3. Heckler falls onto his knees. Referee number 3 hands the title to Heckler. Heckler appears crying, grabs the title, stands up, then raises it. The crowd is cheering loudly. He definitely deserves this, said announcer number 2. I agree with you there. He lasted against 19 other men, and he earned it, said announcer number 1. Congratulations to Heckler, our very first Galaxy champion, said announcer number 2. I say congratulations too. You deserve it, pal. Well, folks, we want to thank you for watching. Hope you had a great time. Be safe out there and good night, said announcer number 1. Bye-bye, said announcer number 2, waving. Heckler appears on the second rope, then rises the title. The crowd is cheering even louder. The end.